Huh. There we are. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Bowling League's Dungeon Bowl. We are in the final games of the regular season. We're over in Division C tonight, and we're going to have the number 1 seed going into the quarterfinals up against a gaggle of orcs. Tonight, we're going to have the Grimdark Orchard versus Philosopher's Song, Crikey versus Spire. We've got orcs versus lizardmen. Let's take a look at the standings real quick, and then we'll take a look at the two teams up this evening. Over in Division A, currently in first place are the Gutterballs. That's Elder Bruno's Orcs team. Sorry, I have other stuff going on. Elder Bruno's Orc team, they're 6-3-0, and they are the number 3 seed as it stands. The NC, not as it stands, actually. The seeds are now set. So they are the number 3 seed. The NC Stakes in second place. Our Moob's Dark Elf team, they are advancing to the quarterfinals as well. They're going to finish the regular season with a record of 6-2-1. They are the number 4 seeds. Odin, it's Nuffle, is Clyfeus' team in third place in Division A. They're a Norse team. They're 6-1-2. They are the number 6 seed for the quarterfinals. Over in Division B, the Believe Broncos will finish out the competition with a record of 7-1-1. This is BB Nuts' Nurgle team, and they are the number 2 seed going into the quarterfinals with Technobabble Inc. That's my human team in second place. They're 5-2-2, and they are the number 8 seed going into the quarterfinals. 3 more teams making it to the quarterfinals here, and they're all coming from Division C. In first place, Philosopher's Song, coached by Spire. They are 7-1-0 as it stands, looking to finish out the competition with a record of 8-1-0 if they can pull off a win here this evening. They are the number 1 seed with 22 points right now as it stands, and a plus 15 TD differential. MAML Nightmare in second is Festoon's Necro team, also advancing to the quarterfinals. They're 6-2-1. And they are the number 5 seed, with the Discomancers rounding out the 8 quarterfinalists. This is Ian's Necro team. They're 6-0-3, and they are the number 7 seed. The home team for the evening will be a Grimdark Orchard. 14 on the roster of this orc team that's going to bring their TV to an even 1,500,000 gold. They have all 4 big and blockers, all 4 blitzers. They have the big guy, they have a thrower, they have a gobbo, and they have 3 linemen. 1 apothecary, 4 dedicated fans, and 4 rerolls. They're going to be up against the Lizards of Philosopher's Song. They have yet to lose in this competition. 15 on the roster, but 3 injured this week. Plato the Chameleon Skink, Schlegel the Saurus Blocker, and Nietzsche's dead. Another skink out this week due to injury. That's going to bring their TV to 1,515,000 gold, and that's just 15K. Going back to the orc team in the inducement phase, not a whole lot to talk about there. A big guy on the roster with the Crocs. They have 5 of their 6 Saurus blockers, with Schlegel being injured, and then a whole bunch of skinks, 1 dedicated fan, 1 apothecary, all 7 dedicated fans, and 3 rerolls. How do these two teams play against each other? The orc team is the canonical bashing team. This is a team that has average speed. They've got average strength, a little bit higher than average strength, with the big and blockers at a strength of 4. And they've got 4 blitzers on the roster. Always a fan of a team with 4 blitzers. So that's 4 players that start with the block skill. This is a team that wants to try to get those skinks off the pitch ASAP. The problem is Grimdark Orchard doesn't have a whole lot of skills as they come into the Dungeon Bowl as a fresh team. They don't have a lot of skills that they'd be looking for in this matchup. But you know what? I think that's not too much of a problem for this team. They are a high armor team with AB10 almost across the board. They've always got the option of the Gobbo toss with the untrained troll, right? That's always an option for them. I think really the goal tonight for them, as for most teams, is to hunt the skinks. But to do that, they need to get those Sauruses out of the equation, and they can do that fairly easily by taking a number of marks. Most teams have to worry about that when we're talking about an AV of 9+ or less. AV 10+, not so bad, right? You have an AV of 10+, you're a lot more resilient than a 9+, or dare I say even an 8+, and you can lock down those Sauruses fairly easily, preventing them from getting in. What just happened? Hold on. Sorry, I got a phone call, and it seemed very important, but turns out maybe it's not. I think it was a butt dial. Anyway. So I think it's a lot easier for them to lock down those Sauruses, right? To get in, to just take the mark, take the hit. Your players aren't gonna die, really, right? You've got a lot of armor value. The problem for the Lizard team then, in response to that, is they need to keep those Sauruses grouped up, right? They've got 3 of those Saurus blockers with the guard skill. They need to get that guard skill to get that strength 5 on all those Sauruses, maybe even a 3-die block where they can pull it off. That's how they keep these Sauruses free. The problem is, if they keep them grouped up and the Orc team comes in I was gonna say comes in swinging, comes in hugging, then the Saurus blockers, they're gonna have to either dance the line around the pitch, meaning, let's say they have 2 Saurus blockers that take blocks, they stay put, the other 2 can reposition to the other side, and they sort of swing the line around that way, or they split up that line. And if they, maybe they free up 2 Saurus blockers to stay in the drive and go in one direction or the other, but now your line is split up. Right now, your Saurus blockers are even less effective. So I think that's the goal for the Orc team tonight, is to really focus on those. Well, it's to get rid of the skinks, but to do that, they need to focus on these Saurus blockers and keep them out of the drive for as long as possible. Philosopher's Song on offense, I think, are almost assuredly going to hold down the fort at center field, just to make sure that Saurus line is intact. They're getting all that block. They're getting that strength 4 with the block skill and moving that line down pitch, keeping those guardsmen intact to try to get those 2-die and 3-die blocks. The Orc team needs to find a way around that. On offense, that's locking down the Saurus blockers. On defense, it might be as well. If they can get around the line, if the line's not wide enough, they might have a shot at a couple of skinks. The problem is the skinks are so fast that if you don't keep a secondary in check, these skinks are going to get right past. I mean, Socrates is MA9, an MA9 sidestep blodger, insanity, right? So you've got to keep a solid secondary in place, which makes it a little more tricky to actually apply that pressure in the backfield. With your Orcs, because if that pressure doesn't work out, you probably don't have enough players left on defense to stop the skink from scoring. All right. Boy, what a day it was. What a day. All right. I'm going to see if the coaches are ready to go, and if so, we'll get this game underway here. All right. Good to hear it. All right, game's getting underway. I'm going to give you a little insight into my psyche right now. I may not sound like it. I am furious. I am absolutely furious right now. But that's all right. That's all right. It's going to be it's all going to be fine, because we got a couple hours of Blood Bowl to come up to make things all better. Oh man, I bought a new board game called Trick Shot. It's like a hockey version of Blood Bowl, except it doesn't have like high fantasy, but it looks really neat. I haven't played it yet. Lots of money to be made with 15 fan factor between the two teams. Is it a rainy game? It is a rainy game. Here's the coin toss. Nothing happening in the inducement phase. Grimdark Orchard wins the coin toss. They will be on offense to begin. Whoops. Here we go. In the rain, all the catchy stuff is a -1. That means trying to pick the ball up off the ground, -1. Trying to catch the ball in a pass, -1. Trying to catch an interception, -1. Philosopher's Song to set up their defense. Currently with 3 on the line, so just 3 on the line. 5 skinks protected by a wall of Sauruses and a Crocs, of course. SP Beaver says hockey version of Blood Bowl without the high fantasy is just hockey. Fair enough. Fair enough. Wait, really? Bad Dog. Well, welcome to the stream. First of all, Bad Dog says there's supposed to be an actual fantasy hockey game similar to Blood Bowl called Slice Hockey. Really? I don't see it on BGG. But yeah, Trick Shot. It's pretty much Blood Bowl with hockey. It looks fun. It doesn't have a retail presence, unfortunately, though. So aftermarket prices for the game are a little silly. I did print myself out a referee mini today, though. 4 players on the receiving team can move 1 space, so they're going to get Pizzazz Pekka under the ball here to try to pick it up on the 5+. There was somebody made a game about orcs with dice that looked phenomenal. I can't remember what it was called. Like the dice were the pieces, and you would like flick the dice. I can't remember what it was called. It was a Kickstarter. Couldn't catch it on the 5+. Now it's going to be a 4+ to pick up off the ground. Turn 1 for Grimdark Orchard. Grimdark Orchard in the brown. Philosopher's Song arguably in the black, but I think all Lizard teams are really in the blue. Slice hockey. That sounds great. There should be a Blood Bowl version of all sports. What would Blood Bowl baseball be? I'm not sure what that would be. Like, I guess you could throw bombs at the batter. Nailed bats would have to be involved somehow. The bases would be like spiked traps. A tar ball lit on fire. Like, I think if you've made a hockey game, you've made like a whole bunch of sports, right? Like if you've got a hockey game, you've got a basketball game, you've got a soccer game, you've got a team handball game, right? They're all very similar. Any sort of put the ball in the goal type game. Push against the Crocs here by the Troll, Fuji Ambrosia. Now 2-die block by Mac. The number 6 Blitzer gets a push here. Frenzy follow-up into a knockdown, looking for a 10+. Breaks armor! Wow, that is a removed Saurus. Well done by Grimdark Orchard. One-man player advantage for Grimdark Orchard, but now the Lizard team down 2 Sauruses, one due to an injury last week, and now one here on turn number 1. Which means they have just 4 Sauruses left. Emerald Raider, welcome to the stream. Emerald Raider says Sega Soccer Slam is what I'd picture a soccer Blood Bowl to be. Or like, or just like Mega Man Soccer or something, just without robots. Just wacky powers. 2-die block against Wittgenstein over on the right side of the line here as Grimdark Orchard is on the bonus clock. Let's get a knockdown here. Can they get another armor break? They can. Oh! Another Saurus out. The Oppo's going to be spent and saves Wittgenstein's life. 2-man player advantage for the Grimdark Orchard. Did he say he needed to lock him down? Clearly, Crikey knows better. He said, "No, I don't need to lock him down. I've got claws on my head. Watch this." Ball in the hands of the number 10 thrower on the Orc 8-yard line. 2-man player advantage here on turn number 1. Two-die blitz. Gets a both standing result out of this. Going to spend the team reroll to get the knockdown on Candle Sinep, the number 7 blitzer. Another armor break. Oh, it's going to be a messy game. Good removal here by Philosopher's Song. Back down to a 1-man player advantage for the Orc team. Two-die block against Mac. Gets a pal here. No armor break. Wouldn't be able to show his face in the locker room if a skink broke his armor. Electric Smith says, is Armor 10 a real thing? This weekend I watched a lot of Sailor Moon. I gotta tell you, man, I really like Sailor Moon Crystal. I know a lot of the Sailor Moon people don't like it, but they're wrong. I know why they don't like it. They like the filler of the first cartoon, the like 5 different friends running around having fun adventures, getting to know each other. I don't need any of that. I like the comic oriented, plot heavy Sailor Moon Crystal. It's great. Turn 2 now for Grimdark Orchard. SP Beaver says, after one of last week's games, I've started watching the Terminator movies 2 down. Those are the 2 best ones. I think Terminator 3 is not as... When I first saw Terminator 3, I thought it was terrible. After watching it recently, I think it's not that bad. Two-die blitz. Dodge push against Descartes. I have the hiccups. Oh, I'm sure you could guess where they go with it. It's one of the 3. It's one of like the 3 same things any series that has gone on too long. One of the 3 tropes they use. Yeah, after 3 it gets... I would say if you're going to watch 3, you may as well watch the 4th, because that wraps up the John Connor story. But after that, I mean, 4's not great. It's not great. But they only get worse from there. The TV show was great. Yeah, Sarah Connor Chronicles was a really good TV show. Ball now on the 4-yard line. 1 die against Bruce the Crocs is going to be a push. Push against Heidegger on the left side. And that'll be the end of the turn. Pushing away the Lizard team, holding them to a blitz. Turn 2 now for Philosopher's Song. They have 1 mark for a potential block, which would be Descartes over in the right wide zone. Crocs fails the boneheaded roll. Gotta roll a d6 before activating. On a 1, you stare off into space. You lose your action, you lose your tackle zones. Here's a blitz. 2-die blitz against the number 4 big and blocker. Gets a push out of this. Hegel with block, tackle, and mighty blow, the killer piece. It's a killer combination. Block, of course, makes the both down result viable. Tackle negates the dodge skill on your opponent. Mighty blow gives you a +1 to your armor or your injury roll. Setting up for the block over the right wide zone. There it is. 2-9 block by Descartes will be a push against Bloody Plowman. number 8 blitzer. Turn 3 now for Grimdark Orchard. I'm just mesmerized by the rain. Minute 19 on the clock here for Grimdark Orchard. They have the ball cage up on their own 4-yard line. Good swing back to the left. There's a gaggle of skinks over on the right. Try to prevent that movement over in the right wide zone. They could kind of open up a lane. Not really. They could leave it at a positive dodge. But as an orc team, don't really want to be dodging so much when you're talking edge 3, sometimes edge 4. Bloody Plowman's going to mark all 3 of those skinks over in the right wide zone. And now Pizzazz Pekka, the number 11 lineman, takes a mark against Descartes. Cage filled in. Is the ball not moving? Two-die blitz against Aristotle. This will be a dodge push. Sets up a chain push to get Descartes over into the sideline here. Pinned down by Pizzazz Pekka. Turn 3 now for Philosopher's Song. Philosopher's Song guaranteed to be the number 1 seed regardless of how this game shaped. Well, I guess not technically regardless, but they would have to lose by a lot. They would have to lose by 5. They're at a +15 TD diff. The Believe Broncos are at a +11. So if they lost by 4, that would be a tie, but then they'd still win on touchdowns scored. So they would have to lose by 5 in order to dip down to the number 2 seed. Minute 3 seconds now for Philosopher's Song. So they've got 3 skinks all tied up over in the right wide zone. They've got 2 skinks in the secondary pulled in real tight here. Gets a push after rolling double skulls here. Takes the blitz on the back left corner of the cage, and now it's going to mark the ball. Can't. The rookie Saurus marking the number 10 thrower. Electric Man says there wasn't even an option to bet on the Orcs by 5. Good dodge away by Descartes. 2, 3 plus dodges. Zilfiana, welcome to the stream. Demanding death. We've come close. Haven't quite seen it yet tonight. Another good dodge off the sideline. Confucius gets off the sideline here. And now Philosopher's Song on the bonus clock. Final dodge out of the right wide zone to make this turn 4 for the Grimdark Orchard. They've yet to cross the line of scrimmage here. Lizards continuing to stay right in front of this offense and now applying a little bit of pressure on the rear as well. Locking down. So the Lizards doing a little bit of what we talked about the Orcs might be doing in this game. Moving in Kant and Descartes here to try to lock out 2 Orcs to not follow up wherever the ball carrier decides to go. When you get this close to the ball, just removing elements, right, is really the name of the game. This player knocked down. He can't get into the drive. This player is marked. There's no way he gets in unless he blitzes. And even if he blitzes, it's an uphill blitz or it's a 1-die blitz, right? This guy, he's marked by my strength 2 guy, but maybe he's a blodger sidestepper, so you better hope you get the POW. Did I block against Kant? This will be a push. So, doesn't clear the ball carrier yet. Well, technically clears the ball carrier, but the ball carrier has nowhere to go right now. Can't be the target of another block coming up. 2-die blitz over on the right side as he hunts the Skinks. Gets an armor break on Confucius. And gets the KO. Well done. Back to a 2-man player advantage for the Grimdark Orchard. Finding those opportunities to hunt these Skinks and get them off the pitch. If you can get the Skinks off the pitch, the Lizards don't have anybody who can effectively carry the ball. Not when we're talking Edge 5+ across the board. And certainly not in the rain. There's that 2-die follow-up against Kant. This will be a push. And now the question is a block going to be taken against Descartes? If it is, it's going to be taken with a frenzy piece. It will be taken. Black Twig Spartan could also pull back if he wishes. Gosh, another removal. 3-man player advantage now for Grimdark Orchard. Final turn of the first quarter. Philosopher's Song. Squarely in front of this Orc offense. With the Orcs, you can see they've got this nice solid line spread pretty wide here, forcing the few Lizards remaining to really sort of decide where they want to move. They can't, if they're going to apply pressure this way and this way, they're going to be pretty weak going this way. Dropping like skinks. Two-die blitz in the right wide zone. A knockdown on Pizzazz Pekka. Needs a 9+ to break armor with Mighty Blow. Doesn't get it. What a day. What a day. My copy of Trick Shot doesn't have like the Kickstarter exclusive referee mini, which doesn't really do anything. Like, it doesn't have a mechanical use, but I printed one out. Printed one out, glued it to a base. I'll probably try to paint it. I'm a miserable painter, but I might give it a go. Can always print out another. Grimdark Orchard. Looks like they might be moving this ball to the right. Either that or they're just going to try to pick up some control over on the right side. I also restarted Final Fantasy 16 this weekend, which is not an RPG. It's not an RPG at all. It's an action game, but it's still a pretty good action game. It's only an RPG if you consider games that have like stats in RPG, but I do not. 2-9 Blitz against Eggle gets a pal here. It would have been a huge removal if he could have gotten through that armor. So he's going to move to the right, it seems. Sets up a pocket here. And there's the ball carrier. Ball carrier crosses the line of scrimmage for the first time in the game. Now on the opposing 4-yard line, just off that right sideline. And now Philosopher's Song marked by a number of orcs, but if they can get through this, they might be able to shut down. Oh, they're not going to shut down the run this way. They might be able to double up their defense and shut down the run. They have to spend another reroll. That is the last one they have. They'll get the knockdown on Mutsu's Troxta breaks armor. What an armor break. Down to a 2-man player advantage. How many players are left on the pitch? 3, 6, 7, 8. Uh-oh. That's not a good doctor. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 on the pitch still between the two teams. You always hate paying for an apothecary. It turns out he's unlicensed. Two-die block against Gravenstein's Stone Tosh. This will be a PAL. And now a 2-die against Black Twig Spartan. Try to push in on the orcs. They get a player back, a Sars back, a Tidegger back to play some defense. They're going to pull back a Skink, maybe 2. In fact, I think he needs to pull back all 3 here. So giving up the right wide zone, but that's fine, honestly. I think that's fine for both teams. I think Philosopher's Song, if they would have got overly aggressive here, that would have been the play, right? So they try to cover that with that lone Skink here, but now the offense can just move with impunity down the right wide zone. They'll have to mark a couple players out, but they can do that pretty easily here. The big problem is, will they have to collapse down to a half cage? And if so, will Philosopher's Song just go for the dodge uphill blitz surf? Emerald Raider demanding death. We've had KOs, we've had injuries. We haven't had any deaths yet. $40 seconds to play here in turn 6 for Grimdark Orchard. I want to sleep. I want to sleep for like 16 hours. Is that a thing I can do? 2-9 Blitz against Plato the Younger. He gets a POW out of this. 8+ on these Skinks. That's all the armor they have. Food polish has 92% success. Cheaters. Grimdark Orchard back on the bonus clock. They move the ball down to the opposing 14-yard line. Oh, wants the double rush here. Failed the first one, spends the reroll. All right. Turn 6 for Philosopher's slide. I think I mark out number 5. They may be able to get a 2-die. If not, they'll... No, they can't. They need the blitz. Good marks here by Grimdark Orchard. Electric Man says, how can they succeed at something 92% that has a 900% failure rate? Look, man, it's just math. A foul here against Bloody Plowman. Doesn't get anything out of the foul, but the ref can't see anything in this pouring rain. Now a 2-die by the Crocs will be a push. Good marks by Grimdark Orchard. A 1-die against Gravenstein Stone Tosh back at midfield here. You know what? Just do the old Hegel dodge. I believe in Hegel. Yes! Hegel dodge! Let's go! Got the pow! The old Hegel dodge! The ball carrier marked by Hegel. 5+ dodge, no problem. Well done by Spire. Turn 7 for Grimdark Orchard. 3+ to dodge away by the ball carrier. They can score. Could just try to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It'd be a rush to score that way. They could blitz with Pizzazz Pekka instead. Stand up the blitzer. Well, no, they would blitz with this guy. No, they wouldn't. They would stand up this guy, blitz with this guy. Joel's just going to stare off into space. Failed the loner roll, burned a team reroll. I think he could have made that a 2-die, right? That could have been 3, 4, 5, and he's marked out. Just set him up. Pizzazz Pekka could have blitzed for a 2-die. And then the thrower could have walked in. Oh, the throws are on MA5. It's a rush. Guard. Thank you very much, guard. Guard is just an invisible skill to me. There's the score. Well done on the rush. Great positioning there by Crikey as well. You saw how he set up his players. In case he failed the rush, he had players there. Well, in case he failed the rush and the ball stayed on the pitch, he had players around to try to keep it safe and try to recover on the next turn. Very, very well played by Grimdark Orchard to get on the board here, 1-0. Grimdark Orchard to set up their defense. They're going to have 10 on the pitch. 10 versus 9. They'll have a one-man player advantage. Sorry, it's 11 v 9 A 2-man player advantage. 11v8? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nope, got it right the first time. 2-man player advantage for the Orcs. Chevron formation for the defense. Food Polish says, I've learned something tonight. Sars dodge is on the same level as LPS on my dislike scale. I was at a game store. What's happening to my arm? My arm itches. I was at a game store with some friends this weekend, and we overheard some folks talking about Blood Bowl, and like I actually had to take a moment and not inject myself into their conversation. Like I turned around, like my radar went off. I was like, I heard Blood Bowl. 4 players to reset on the solid defense. I'm not sure Grimdark. Well, I don't know. They might just leave it where they are. They're afraid of the skinks for the most part with 2 turns remaining. SB Beaver said should have gotten them to join the league. If I knew them, maybe. Black Wolf says, like a dog seeing a squirrel when he hears the word Blood Bowl in the wild. Ajax the right with the sub. Thank you very much, Ajax. Thank you for your generosity. One Rushavani indeed. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Thank you very, very much for the sub. I appreciate it. One Rushivani, one Rushivani, one Rushivani. So Grimdark Orchard filling the line here. Just to prevent these Sarses from shenanigans on these last 2 turns. Thank you kindly, Ajax. It's going great. Philosopher's Song, the #1 seed going in the quarterfinals. This is their final game in the regular season for both these teams, in fact. 2-die against Bloody Plowman. 9+ breaks armor with Mighty Blow, and he has a broken neck. Nobody likes to get hit when you have a broken neck. It hurts. Yeah, there he goes. So set him up on the line, and now the block's taken by the Lizard team. SP Beaver says, wait, he's guaranteed the #1 spot and still dodge the Cyrus? Yes, indeed. No fear. He knew he would succeed. Not technically guaranteed, but all but guaranteed. That's right, it has to show why he's #1. Now a 2-die against the rookie blitzer, #5, Kulasaga Del Floga. Del Floga? I'm going to go with Del Floga. Ball kicked to the to the 16-yard line here. Didn't even bother with the ball on turn 7. Turn 8 now for Grimdark Orchard. Keep in mind, Philosopher's Song undefeated in this competition. They're now down a touchdown against Grimdark Orchard. Lupa says he has to lose by 4 or 5 to lose first, I think. Yeah, it's got to be 5. Has to lose by 5. 2-die block against Hegel. This will be a POW. Two-die against the big guy, Bruce. Look at the knockdown here. Again, it's a 10 plus to break armor. That's all the blocks. The blitz will almost certainly be on a skink. I have to imagine it's going to be Aristotle. Unless he wants to... Well, he can do both. There's the assist against Aristotle. 2 assists. Means a strength 3 blitz. Would be a 3-die blitz. Here comes the blitz. 3-die blitz. Gets the knockdown here. Whoa! Show it off! Show it off! Had the block skill. Could have taken on the first die roll, but spent the re-roll to say, watch this. Watch this. No, it's going to be triple pals. Watch this. Rolled 3 pals on the re-roll. Turn 8 now for Philosopher's Song. Playing the mind games. I just want you to see that I control these dice. I decide what these dice say. Electric fan said he picked the wrong POW and he got stunned. Stand up blitz against the untrained troll. Got the POW out of this. 9 plus with Mighty Blow. Got nothing out of it. Setting up. Is he going to foul? 4 assists on the foul. 6 plus breaks armor right now. 5 plus breaks armor. Here we go. Only got a stun, but the ref couldn't see it. And so he'll remain in this game. Doesn't even try to pick the ball up for some SPP. That is it. 1-0 at the half. Very well played by both of these coaches. This has been a great game so far. 1 KO is going to come back for Philosopher's Song. They are happy to have that. And now Philosopher's Song is going to get their proper drive here to try to get on the board. So a 1-man player advantage for the Grimdark Orchard going into the second half of this ball game. Food Polish has more deaths and injuries when Ava talks off Blood Bowl tangents. Oh, all right. Well, I can do that. Bought a new bed. It hasn't arrived yet. It arrives in pieces. I got the new... I just bought, like, new bed everything stuff, you know? So, like, new frame, new mattress, new headboard, new pillows, new sheets. Oh, it's a timeout. We're going to lose a turn here as the ball's kicked all the way to the 24-yard line just off the left. Sideline turn 10 for Philosopher's Song. They're down 0-1. They're back up to 3 rerolls. 2-die blitz to get things started against Tom Putt Crabapple. And they get a push out of this. New sheets, a new comforter, new mattress cover, all that stuff. So I got all the linens. The mattress arrives tomorrow. The frame arrives this weekend. And the headboard arrives next week. So Lizard team ties it up 10v10 on the pitch now with that removal. My current bed is very, very, very old. It's very old. Foodfella says it's Blood Bowl themed. It's not. It's not. But I think I might get rid of a nightstand as well. I'm not looking forward to like having the junk removed again, because I just had a bunch of junk removal, and like having to call out the junk removers again for a bed annoys me. See, injury bed sheets. When you're right, you're right. Electric Man says, isn't a transformer. The bed is kind of a transformer. I mean, it moves. 4+ pickup in the rain. Not a problem for Socrates. Socrates, a sidestep blodger with an MA of 9. Might be the scariest player on the field here. Especially when there's no tackle on the opposing roster. Turn 10 now for Grimdark Orchard. I have a shelf of Ninja Turtles, like, in my office, right above my printer, and it fell and scuffed up my printer, and now I'm sad. Now I've got, like, little paint scuffs on my printer. Can you print a new printer case? I probably could, but that would look worse than the scuffs. "45 seconds ago for Grimdark Orchard." Probably going to play a little more defensively here. Really, all I need to do is stop the score to win. Blitz on the right side against Aristotle. It's either a dodge push or a both down. And it looks like Crikey's deciding between the two. If it's a both down, it'll be a 7+ to break armor. It's going to take the dodge push. I'm so happy with the new 3D printer. I mean, it's not that new anymore. I got it last year, but I'm so happy with it because now it got all the problems I had off the table. My old 3D printer was like an open air printer, and it didn't have like auto leveling. If you've never 3D printed before, man, it has historically been such a pain. Like, historically, only people that like to fiddle with things would do it, because it is so obnoxious. Like, if you want an appliance, then you do not want a 3D printer. Until relatively recently. So, like, you know, my new one is enclosed when the old one wasn't. Temperature really matters. The bed being level really matters. Like, I used to have such a hard time leveling the bed manually. Another armor break here. Man, this is insane. Another removal here. Does that tie it up? Let's see. Does that give him a player advantage? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 versus 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9v9 on the pitch now. And like, having like filament in the open air, it can like absorb moisture, and I don't have to worry about any of that anymore. And so now things just work. Now it is very close to being an appliance. It depends on the models, but basically the only work I need to do now is just add supports, which is done automatically, and then just either paint in new ones or remove ones that don't make sense or whatever, and then just let it rip. "15 seconds left on the clock for Philosopher's Song." Philosopher's Song is going to move the ball up to the 2-yard line in the hands of that very, very fast skink Socrates. He is as fast as a gutter runner. And I used to have a setup like it's a piece of software called Octopi. I used to, or Octoprint, I think. Basically, I had a Raspberry Pi set up with a webcam so I could watch prints remotely on the old one. Now that's just all built into the machine. It's so much nicer now. 2-die block got a pow out of this. I can just have it print, and then my TV will tell me when the print's done, and I can go get it and clip it and whatever. Pie with a camera in it. Another foul here. It does not get called off. What is the ref doing in this game? Oh, he's hanging out with the cheerleaders. Turn 11 for Grimdark Orchard. Even knocking the ball loose, if you could knock the ball loose, but even not recover, you're in the range. So it's a -1 for anyone to pick it up. When you're up on the scoreboard, that's also another option you have. Clearly not an option right now for Grimdark Orchard, but certainly something they're thinking about. They could turn this would normally be a 2/3 chance of success into a 50-50 on a knockdown. It's certainly worth it. He's a sneaky kid. He's very, very sneaky. It's true. I'm actually pretty worried about the bed because, like, I know what my current bed feels like. I have no idea what a new bed's going to feel like. I'm sure it'll be fine. Grimdark Orchard trying to contain the lizards. They've got to be careful. 2-die block against Hegel. They got to get a knockdown here. Grimdark Orchard back on the bonus block with 4 minutes 10 seconds. Still have to stand up the thrower. Pulling players in, trying to lock down the lizards. Stand up blitz by the thrower. A push on Aristotle. Might re-roll this. No, he's going to keep it with the push. So this ball carrier, like right now, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's where you can get with a single dodge. Single dodge with the dodge skill. Turn 12 now for Philosopher's Song. Sand Sliker with the 3-stream streak. Thank you very much. Good to see you. Season 6, I will have something set up for streaks, I promise. Oh, I gotta do my taxes. Man, I gotta get my license renewed. Oh, I should be able to do that online, but my eye doctor doesn't send in eye exams to the Motor Vehicle Administration, so I can't. I don't. If I have to go to the MVA, it will be an all-day affair. Since, like I said, just got my first real ID, definitely a pain. Yeah, I already, like, did. I don't even know what I needed to do that, but I already have that on my license. But I just need to renew it. Man, I really don't want to go to the MVA. I mean, who does? Whoever wants to go to the MVA or the DMV or whatever? Like, I really don't want to do it. Electric Man says, "Why would your eye doctor have to?" Well, he doesn't have to, but if he doesn't, it means the MVA has to give me an eye exam, which means I have to go into the MVA. But if my eye doctor sends them my eye exam, I don't have to go in. I can just renew online. Sans Liker says, "This is in the States?" Yes. Yes, it is. This is in the state of Maryland, in fact. Socrates moves down that left wide zone, moves down to the 8-yard line, doesn't go the maximum distance, needs to keep the ball carrier protected, of course. Emerald Raider says the armor on these orcs is non-existent. It's been pretty brutal. SP Beaver says, "I didn't even know it was possible to do it online at all." Yes, indeed it is. Sans Sliker says, "I thought they just marked that you wear corrective lenses and move on." No, they, you need to, I mean, you know what? They should do that. That's how they should do it. Because really, that's all that goes on the license. That's how it should go down. Iron City says, "Seems kind of dickish of the eye doctor to not provide that service. He needs to realize he's in a service role." But he said that they just had a lot of problems with it in the past, and so they don't want to spend like the manpower on like dealing with the MVA. Festing says, "Maryland makes it as much as possible for corrective lenses to be a restriction on your license." Yeah. So, like, I wear glasses, but I don't need them on my license because I can pass like a 20/20 vision exam. I don't know if it's 20/20. Like, clearly, if my vision was 20/20, I wouldn't have glasses. But I could pass whatever the exam is. But I'm more than happy. If it keeps me from going in, I'm more than happy to put the glasses restriction on my license and just move on with my life. Yeah, my license doesn't say that I need glasses. I think what they want to do is they want to verify, because like there's needing glasses and then there's like being blind, you know what I mean? And I think they want to verify themselves that you can actually see to their satisfaction. So whether that's from an actual licensed doctor or from themselves, they just want to make sure that you can actually see. Sandsliker says, even if you don't wear glasses as a cop, gonna ticket you if you say you are wearing contacts. I mean, maybe not, but I mean, I understand like not wanting people who can't see to be on the road. You know, like I totally understand that. And certainly, if I had a glasses restriction, I would wear my glasses when I drive. Well, I mean, I do anyway, but. Like it's a 1-ton bullet, you know. So, oh, the 2-die uphill, the double pals on the Crocs. Yeah, I don't begrudge the actual things they want to do. I just begrudge the fact that it takes an eternity. Like I don't want to spend 8 hours at the MBA just so they can say, "Oh, you can see." Fourth quarter begins here with Philosopher's Song in possession of the ball on the opposing 8-yard line, just off the left sideline. Sandsliker says, I try to drive defensively and assume all others on the road with me are idiots. I think that's a fair strategy to take. Sandsliker says, never going to stop folks from driving without glasses if they are motivated enough. Sure. I mean, I'm sure that's correct, but doesn't mean we shouldn't. Doesn't mean we should ignore it, I think. You know what I mean? Hoy. The thrower taken out of the game. These orcs. SPP says, I still remember when I moved to Maryland, the MVA called their senior document examiner to call out my documents as fake. Iron Cynic says, I've done the MVA in Maryland, not customer friendly. Yeah. So, when I worked for a government contractor, just getting the ball in there. MA9, man. Well done by Spire to get on the board. It is now a 1-1 ball game. When I worked for a government contractor, and I needed certain paperwork, apparently my name in the state at like the Department of Vital Records was wrong. Like apparently they entered my name at a time where there was a character limit and it cut off the last letter of my middle name, and so they were like, oh, sorry, the name you're telling me you are is not the name. You got to get this fixed. So I had to go to the Department of Vital Records and have them put the last letter on my middle name. Grimdark Orchard up against a 3-player defensive line here for the Lizards. Sticking 6 on the line. It'll be a 1-man player advantage now for Philosopher's Song. I think it's the first time they've had a player advantage at the start of a drive this game. He could have just changed your name, I suppose. Iron Cynic says, I lived in Virginia for about 18 months over 15 years ago. They still text me political text. Yeah, people on the road are weird, I think. So like I I am a speeder. I am quite the speeder. Um, and I was driving home one night, and I was going like Mach 7. I was going super fast, and I just whizzed by a state trooper, and he hits his lights. So I pull over, and he's super nice, and I was speeding, so I'm not gonna like be mad or whatever. So he comes up to my window and he's like, "I appreciate you pulling over immediately," and I was like, "Do people not do that? Is it an option? What are you talking about?" He's like, "You'd be surprised." I'm like, "Oh my god." Ball kicked to the 16-yard line. I had a similar situation. I was in the hospital. Everything was fine, but I was in the ER, and they were like, SB says, "I assume you took that as permission to never pull over again." I did not. I certainly did not. I went to the hospital, and they were like, "Will you be paying today?" And I was like, "Is it an option not to?" Why are you, what are you talking about? if there's an option not to, sure, I will not pay. One die block on the line here against Hume. Gets a push with Gravenstein Stone Tosh. I don't like the guys that like undertake. That's the thing that really gets under my skin. That's the thing that makes me like call people names under my breath. Like, oh, I just hate it. I hate it when people undertake. It messes up traffic. It messes up people's expectations of the flow of traffic. Iron Cynic says the sad reality is most people can't pay for their medical care. Yeah, I get that. It felt like I was being given the I had my wallet, I had my insurance and everything, and it felt like I was being given the option to not pay, you know? Sandsucker says undertake. Yeah, so in my state, I think it's like this in most states, but in my state, the lanes, you have the right lane, that's your cruising lane, and the other lanes are passing lanes, right? So if you're in a passing lane, right, if there's a lane to your right and somebody behind you is going faster, you are required to move over for them. You're required to allow them to pass you. It doesn't matter if they're speeding. Like that's up to the police. Like you're not a police officer. Let the police handle that. But if they're going faster than you, you have to let them overtake you. Either they pass you on the left, or if there's nowhere to go, like if you're in the leftmost lane, right, or they can't overtake you, you have to go to the right. Yeah, slower traffic keeps right. Undertaking is when you pass on the right side, right? Pass through slower traffic. So if you imagine, you're going fast and you're weaving through people who are going slower than you deliberately. Festoon says the number one lane is the left most lane to pass someone. Right. If someone is going 10 miles per hour under the speed limit and two vehicles behind them, they can be cited also. Oh, cool. Good to know. Yeah. SP Beaver says you cannot pick and choose the road laws you obey. I can and I do. But like I said, like if I get pulled over for speeding, that's on me. You know what I mean? Like it's nobody's fault but my own. Yeah, my dad got pulled over once for like cruising in a passing lane, and he was like flabbergasted. He's like, "What?" I have a buddy whose mom would cruise in a passing lane deliberately, and she would always say, "They don't make lanes for you specifically to break the law." It's like, will you please just move over? Why are you just pissing people off on purpose? Why can't you just be cool? Turn 14 for Grimdark Orchard. Sometimes I'll be driving, like especially like late at night, and there'll be like someone just breaking the sound barrier, just running up behind me. So I'll get over so they can pass me. But sometimes they like want to race, and I'm just like, come on, man. Like, so I'll like slow down, hoping they'll like get the message, but then they slow down. I'm like, oh my god, will you please leave me alone? 24 seconds to go here in turn 14. Sense like I said, as a good rule of thumb for me is to always give someone behind me the option to pass. Don't need the anxiety of someone hugging my bumper. Sense like I says, you must have a car that people think is race worthy. Yeah, yes I do. And maybe when I was younger, I would entertain them, but I just want to get home or get to where I'm going. SB says, I do this unless it's a BMW. They deserve to be annoyed. Hush you. Vonru, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Another foul here. Got something out of it this time. Gets a stun, but does not get called off. Turn 15 now for Philosopher's Song. Trying to stop the score. Trying to end the regular season with a winning record. I'm doing great. I hope you are too, Vonru. Yeah, we used to have a guy in the area. He was Batman. He would dress up as Batman, and he drove a black Lamborghini. And you would see him pulled over on the side of the road all the time because he'd speed down the road. But what he did was he dressed like Batman, and he used his car as like the Batmobile kind of. And he would go to like area hospitals and like meet with the kids and stuff. And so you would see sometimes like he'd get pulled over, but then you'd see like the police officers like taking pictures with him and stuff. It was really nice. I mean, I guess don't speed, but also he was a really nice guy. Did he fight crime? No, I don't think so. Keeping the ball carrier marked here. Philosopher's Song. With 2 turns left, are they going to send another skink downfield? That's what he said. Don't speed. That's just it. Yeah. If you don't want to get pulled over for speeding, don't speed. It's just, there's your answer. T-Dye block on Fuji Ambrosia. Gets a pow out of this. Preemptive charity work. Another foul here. Boy, that's sneaky get. That's sneaky get. Would have been called off if he wasn't so sneaky. Turn 15 for Grimdark Orchard. They've got to end the starting scoring position if they want to win, but I don't know how they're going to do that. The Troll pretty well locked down, stunned as well. They can get somebody downfield, but man, it's going to be scary. A number of skinks downfield as well for Philosopher's Song. They're trying to win this one. Testing says State of Maryland, I think, is minimum $90 ticket plus court fees. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't had a speeding ticket in many years at this point. I've gotten older. I still speed, but I am not the douche I was when I was a kid. Oh yeah, but the whole point of that story, like 45 minutes ago, was I don't like, people are crazy, man. Like I've had someone deliberately ram my car on the highway. Like, people are wacky, man. Every time I think I don't have my shit together, there is somebody out there that is a million times worse. Like, I'll be like, oh man, I forgot to take out the trash, and then there's like somebody out there ramming people's cars. Iron Cynic says, but the cops don't usually show up for the hearing, so it takes a couple hours to save you insurance fees. Not true in my state. Anyway, they book the docket for like individual police officers. So like the police officer doesn't have to come in like every day. It's like there'll be like a day where they come in. But if you can get it rescheduled, then they usually don't show up. Hand off to Pizzazz Pekka. Pizzazz Pekka, I don't think he can really get in a scoring position. It's going to have to come down to Gravenstein Stone Tosh. But I think really the plan here for Crikey, I think they're just trying to make sure that the Lizards don't score, and they come out with a draw here. 36 seconds on the bonus clock for Grimdark Orchard. They're still sitting on a reroll. Blue Polish says, can't find Notepad for all this misdemeanor tips and tricks. I had a process when I was younger. And it worked very well. It worked very well until a police officer once at court was like, I got called up for. I'm not going to tell you the process. I don't want to encourage people gaming the system, but it worked. It worked great. And then one day, the police officer wasn't there, and there was another police officer that interrupts proceedings. He's like, "Your Honor, give me 30 minutes. I can get him being the police officer that needed to appear. He's like, I can get him down here." The police officer was like, all right. And they put me at the back of the docket. I was like, damn it. Another weird thing, like this foiled again. Festic says each officer is different. Some takes running a stop sign very seriously. Yeah, I get it. I mean, everybody's got a job to do. No, I don't really take any umbrage with it. But like, some people are like creepy. Like, I got pulled over once by a fake police officer, and I didn't realize it felt off at the time. And then I think it was the next day or the day after we found out on like a local online newspaper that he got arrested. He wasn't a real police officer. Like, that's creepy. I don't like that at all. Hand off to Confucius, fails. 75% with the reroll does not work out. That'll be a turnover. This game will end 1-1. Grimdark Orchard and their coach, Crikey, one of two teams to draw Philosopher's Song. Everybody else lost to this Lizard team, the #1 seed. I'd take that as a win in my book. Well played by both these coaches. Wow. Electrus Man said, did you give them all your information? I did. It was so weird. I don't even like thinking about it. It's so creepy. Very, very well played. And with that, Philosopher's Song is going to end regulation here in the Dungeon Bowl with a record of 7-2-0. They're undefeated. But yeah, Grimdark Orchard, one of just 2 teams able to draw this this dominating Lizard team here. So congratulations to not just Spire, but Crikey in this matchup. Very, very impressive. That was a lot of fun to watch. All right, let's take a look at the schedule before we get out of here for the evening. Coming up next, we have one more game left in the regular season. Just one, and then we have the top 8 for the Dungeon Bowl, and then we will have Blood Bowl number 5, and that'll close out our season. So the final game of the regular season will be the Conduct Committee versus Badass Biatches. We've got Berserker Tempest versus Malik, and that is Goblins versus Amazons. I think tentatively that is scheduled for Thursday. It's not actually on the schedule yet, but I saw the coaches working it out in Discord. I think it's going to be this Thursday, but we'll see. And when that game gets scheduled and when our quarterfinals games get scheduled after that, you'll be able to check out and get alerted to the schedule on our website at maml.club. That's maml.club here on Twitch or on our social media pages on Blue Sky, X, and Facebook. You can also watch previous games on our YouTube channel, play Blood Bowl, and in fact, keep forgetting, you can come hang out in our Discord channel as well. On our Discord channel, you can shop with our coaches. You can hit me up. I'm Avian2. Tag me in a message, and if you want to participate in our league when season 6 starts up, you can just shoot me a message. Say, hey, Ava, I want to sign up. I will put you on my reminder list, and when registration opens, I'll shoot you a DM and tell you how to register for our league. Very, very easy to do, or you can just wait until registration opens up and do it yourself. We also have dedicated channels for standings and for the schedule, and the schedule in Discord is in your local time zone, so you don't have to do any weird math to figure out when the next game will be. But whether you come hang out in Discord or not, whether you check us out on our social media pages or not, the one thing you really must do is play Blood Bowl. This game is a ton of fun. You can play Blood Bowl via Blood Bowl 3 on Steam, the Epic Game Store, PlayStation, and Xbox, and in tabletop form at your friendly local game store until the final game of the regular season. Man, this has been a great season, a great competition. So many great coaches, lots and lots of fun, interesting strategies and tactics. I love league play because there's so many interesting decisions that happen on top of sort of the quote-unquote normal Blood Bowl that you might see in tournament play. Everybody's been super great. My heartfelt thanks to everybody who has participated, who's been eliminated. Thank you very, very much for spending taking some time out of your days this season to play a really fun game with me and with us. I've had an absolute blast, and I hope it continues. So that'll do it for tonight. We've got one more game in the regular season that'll probably be on Thursday, but you can again check us out on all the things to see when that game will be scheduled. And until that game, take care, everybody. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening.